Hello guys, welcome to our class of number 14, and on today's class we're almost ending our game. So if we play the game right now, you should have some gameplay very similar to what I have right here. So like you have our score, we have the pipes. If we hit a pipe, we have the game over, and then we can see our score right here and retry again. So yeah, that's basically the game right now. It's just a little bit odd, this game, and you may be missing some important part of actually any kind of game development or in any game is actually the sounds. So in today's class we are going to be adding different sounds in our project that will make our game look more vividly. It will make it look more cool and more gamey-ish, because actually the sounds in the game is a very important part and it plays a big part in the game. So in today's class, let's start with the sounds. First of all, in order to have the sounds in the project, the first thing that we need to have, actually, it's the sounds itself. So you may find right here the files in the class, so you may find this to download. It's a zip, so we're going to import the same way as we always did with the other kind of folders. So we're going to drag and drop, extract, and then we're going to import the sounds into resources folder. Alright, so after we do this, you should have the sounds right here. All of them right here. We have 4. So one of the sounds is going to be the music playing in the background. So you can even test this one just by like playing this. So I don't know if you guys can hear it. I hope you can. Alright, so we have the fail sound when we hit the pipe, when we lose. We have the jump when we jump with the bird, and we have the pipe sound when actually we achieve some kind of score. Right, so we have these different 4 sounds right here, and let's start actually adding them. First of all, I need actually to explain you guys how sounds work inside of Unity. We have 2 different components responsible for making the player hear the sound. One of them is actually producing the sound. It's called audio source, and the other one it's called audio listener. So the audio listener picks the information from any kind of audio source that we have in our game, and then it actually reproduces into our speakers or headphones or any other kind of sound device. Every single camera, when you create a project, you already have the audio listener. So this is the guy responsible to understand all audio sources throughout the map and actually making our speaker to play it for the player. So this, we don't need to mess with this. It's already working. We don't need to set anything with this. The only thing that we need to do is to create audio sources. So in this game, we are going to have 2 different audio sources. One for the background music and the other for the effects. So one of the audio source, it's going to be playing the background music every single time, so it's not gonna be paused anymore. And the other audio source is going to be playing maybe fail sound, jump sound, pipe sound, and it can play 2 different sounds at the same time. So if you want to play 2 different sounds at the same time, you're going to need 2 different audio sources. So that's why you're going to have at least 2 different audio sources right here, because one of them is going to be playing the background music and the other one is going to be playing the effects. So for that reason, we are going to be changing the sounds inside of an audio listener. And that's what we're going to be doing here on the class today, because we are going to use one audio listener, one audio source to be playing fail sound, jump sound, and pipe sound. So in order to change the clip, that's how we call the music, the sounds, they are clips. So these clips, we are going to be changing them in the script in order to know when we need to play the correct clip for each occasion. Alright, so let's start with the easiest one right now. Let's start with our background music. So in order to create this audio source, you can, if you want to create the audio source inside of main camera or any other kind of game object, but I'm going to create one game object only for that. Alright, so I'm going to go to game object, create empty, And then this game object, I will rename it to background music. Alright, so that's our game object. I'm going to then select this game object and add a component called audio source. This one, audio source. And then you can see that we have a few options right here. One of them is actually to select the audio clip that is going to play. I'm going to select background, so I'm going to drag and drop background. You can do it in different ways, or you can drag and drop or click in the circle and then see all the files and select background. Both works the same way. Here we can change the volume, we can change the pitch, we can change a lot of different things. One of them, or two of them actually are very important. It's play on awake. So it means that it's going to be start playing the music as soon as play start. It's important for the music, not so important for the other things. So for the other effects, we're going to disable it. And then it needs to play on loop. It means that when it ends, it actually starts again. And it's very important for this kind of game because maybe your background music, it's not that long. So you need to play it several times until you reach the final of the level. So that's important to be on looping. So yeah, let's test it out. It should be working already. Let's test it out. I'm gonna just be careful. If your Unity here on Maximize will play, you have select mute audio. It's not going to show any audio for you. Okay, so make sure that this button right here, it's not selected. It can't be selected. Okay, so I'm going to play the game and see if our sound is there. Okay, the sound is here, so you can hear it very clearly. That's pretty cool. We already have one sound working, and it's the easiest one, because the next one we're actually going to be changing a lot of different clips throughout the game. So let's start with the second easiest one, is the jump. So what I want is actually to, every time I press space in the keyboard, I want to make this sound right here of jump. So if I press space, I want to have the sound. Where we are actually making the jump is on the player movement script. So it's there that we need to add this kind of action. So I'm going to need to have one audio listener that is going to be responsible to play every single effect. Remember when I said that we're going to have two, one for the background music and the other for effects? So this one is the second one. So in the player, I'm going to add a new component and I'm going to add a new audio source. Right now, it does not need to have any clip and I don't want it to play on awake. All right. So that's cool. I don't need to link any clip for now. And then inside of player movement, so we can go to player movement script, player movement. Okay, right here. Inside of here, I need to have two different variables. One responsible for the clip that I'm playing and one responsible for the audio listener. So I'm gonna create those two variables right now. So both of them is going to be public. So public audio source. That's the audio source. I'm gonna call it audio. Audio. And the second one is going to be the audio clip. So public audio clip. And just to remember the clip that I'm playing, I'm going to say that is jump clip. All right, so we have two different variables, one responsible for audio source, in this case audio, and the second one responsible for the jump clip, so actually the sound itself, jump clip. Okay, so where we actually jump? We jump when we play key code space. Here is actually when we jump. So it's here that I want to play the sound. In order to make sure that I'm playing the correct clip, first I'm going to say the clip, I'm going to set the clip, and then after this I'm going to play the sound. So first I'm going to say audio clip is actually equal to jump clip. Okay, so I'm saying, hey, the clip from my audio source is going to be jump clip, and then after this I'm going to play the sound. So these two actions we're going to do it always in that order because you need to change the clip and then play the sound, and we're going to do the exactly same thing for the next effects that we're going to have. The only difference is that the other effects is not going to be inside of player movement, is going to be inside of player manager, but they are going to be working exactly in the same way. We're going to have clips, we set the clip, and then after this we play the sound. So I'm gonna save this, and just to make sure that it's going to work, I need to go to player. And then on player movement, I will have two variables. I can click right here to set them, not background music, player. And then jump clip will be jump sound right here. All right, so if I play the game, you should have something like this when you jump. All right. Okay, so we have our jumping working fine. One thing, we need to finish. In order to finish, we need to have adding our fail sound and our pipe sound. So basically two opposite sounds. One when you lose the game and one when you score some point. They're going to be a little bit more complex because we're going to use the same audio listener as we are using the jump, and they're going to be in the same script. So just to make sure, I'm going to make them very slowly so you make sure that you understand it. So the script that we're going to use, it's going to be player manager. So I'm going to open this, and then we're going to need to have the variables for audio source and audio clip for each one of them. So one audio source and two clips here. But just to make sure that you understand, here is actually when we hit the score, the pipe. So here we need to play the game over sound or fail sound. And here is where we actually score the game. So just make sure that we need to make the sound right here when we fail and right here when we make the score. Because it's actually right here that we make score if we hit the score trigger and all the stuff that we did before. So just to make sure, don't get confused. The pipe one is when you fail. The score one is when you score. So it's easy to remember, and we're basically going to be making the same stuff we did to the player movement. So we're going to have set the clip, and then after we set the clip, we're going to play the sound. All right, so in order to do so, I'm going to be adding more variables right here, actually 3 different variables. First one is going to be the same one that we use in the player movement. It's going to be audio listener, audio source, and the name is going to be audio. It can be the same name, don't worry, they are not the same variable. They're just using the same audio source. And then I'm going to be adding 2 different variables, one for each clip that I'm going to use, one for fail and one for score. So public audio clip. And then the name can be like something like fail clip, something like this. And the second will be audio clip, score clip. Okay, just very easy to remember. I'm gonna do one of them spaced from each other, then in a way that we can actually see what's going on. First I'm going to do the fail clip. So pipe is for fail. I'm gonna jump a few lines right here. So when we hit the pipe, it's where we actually set up the game over screen. First, I will say that my audio clip is equal to fail clip. And then audio is going to play. So I set the clip and then I play the sound. So I'm gonna save it right now. And just to be sure, I'm gonna go back to Unity. It's on player manager. So here on player manager, I would just need to link the variables that is not linked. Be careful of this. If you don't link, it's gonna have a trouble. It's not gonna work. So audio source is actually not background, player. Our fail clip is the fail sound, and the score clip, it's going to be our pipe sound. All right. So if I play the game right now, you should look like this. It should look like this in your game. Okay, you see, when I hit it, it actually gives me a sound. All right, one more time. All right, so yeah, we have the fail sound working right now. Just to end, I'm going to open again my player manager. I'm going to do the same thing for score sound right here. So when we score, the audio clip is going to be equal to score clip. And then audio will play. I'm gonna save it right now, and let's test with all the sounds. Okay, like we have a problem right here, and I'm going to teach you guys how to fix it, just to be a little bit better to understand. I don't know if you guys can hear it actually, but I'm going to disable this background sound. So what I'm going to do, I'm not gonna say to play on awake, so it's not gonna play. And I'm going to test only with the score sound and the jump sound. You see that the score sound actually is going to get interrupted by the jump sound if I jump after I score the sound. So it's a little bit odd. So you have this kind of feeling right here. You see, you can sometimes, depending if I jump exactly after I score, it doesn't sound very nice because it changes the clip and play it again all over it. So it's not gonna end the sound. We can actually fix this in a very easy way. So I'm just gonna open up player movement again, and we just need to make sure to change the clip and play the clip if it's not already playing something. So that's what we need to be careful. So here, I'm going to delete right here, and I'm going to add an if. So if audio is playing, so if audio is playing, so if it is playing, but I want it to be equal to false. So if it is playing is false, in other words, it's not playing anything, I'm going to audio, clip, jump clip, and then audio, play. So basically, it's just going to change the clip and play it again when it's not playing already something. So if it's playing is equal to false, then I'm going to change the clip and play it again. All right. So we can test it again just to see how it works. It's gonna work a little bit different. You can actually choose which one you think it's better. If you like the way that it was before, just don't do this thing that I did right now, but let's test both. Okay, so it doesn't actually have the sound of jump if my score sound didn't end. So yeah, that's one way of making it. As I said before, if you like the other version, you can keep it. And now I'm gonna go back with the play on awake on background music. So be careful, remember to mark it on again. So I'm gonna play, and that's what we have. And if we die, and then you can play around, like you can change the pitch of the music. So I'm gonna change it for something like here. That's a very high pitch. You can even make it bigger. I kind of like this one. You can make it equal to 3, so 3 times the pitch. Wow, too much. Yeah, I kind of like the 2. So I'm just gonna make it pitch equals to 2, and then you can make the volume lower so it doesn't actually play too much in terms of the other sounds. Right, and you can make the pitch even slower, so like something like half. Sounds like an horror game, actually. Alright, so yeah, that's it. I'm just gonna leave it with 2. You can play around with this, you can change the priority. probably the volume right here, just to make sure that everything is playing nice. You can go wild and actually change the pitch of the other audio source, and that's how the game looks. Actually, it's our final game. Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, that's it guys. I hope you guys like this one. The next class is going to be our last class, so I'm going to teach you guys how to make this game actually a game, because right now it's only on the project. On the next class, I'm going to teach you guys how to build it for different platforms. Alright, so thank you very much, and see you on the next class. Bye bye.